Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And if you don't know me, my name is Vikas, and I'm a curator and art consultant. And I'm very excited for you guys to joining us for this another session of Sip Talk and Connect. Just one thing, it's not a lecture, right? It's a informal and interactive session, right? So feel free to interrupt, feel free to ask any questions you have, and today's session will be looking at something which is very important but often misunderstood. That is how collectors actually think when they buy the art, right? Before I begin, it would be great if everyone, like, if you guys can introduce yourself.
Okay. You want to go ahead first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I'll just say, yeah. So I'm Ankita, and I have been an educator for some time. Then I quit my job recently in 2021, like 5 years back, and then I moved to art full time. I am a full time artist now, and I work on commissions, and I have exhibited for some time now. Actually, I started exhibiting since 2018. I have a bit of a collector base here. I live in Singapore, so in Singapore and this side as in Europe, and also I have a few people. But I am still trying to understand the market and what it takes to reach the collectors and what is it exactly that the collectors are looking
fair enough. And I'll say that's everyone's question
for. Yeah,
because
I'm
it's
sure.
not an easy nut to crack.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tanishq, okay, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. So my name is Tanishq and I am born and based in Uttarakhand and I'm an art practitioner. I do mixed media, watercolors. Right now, experimenting on different surfaces and mediums. Learning through amazing platforms like this, Artlune, and so many others. And my graduation is going on, and yeah.
Thank you. And I'm Vikas. And as I mentioned, I'm a curator and art consultant. I'm doing this since 2019. Uh, I used to work in advertising agency. And yeah, after that, I quit everything and dedicated myself to support art and artists. I specialize in South Asian art and I'm based in UK and I operate between UK, Europe, and India. Yeah, so thank you. Thanks a lot for introductions. And just one thing I want to be very clear about with this session is that this session is not about making work more commercial or changing your practice, right? It's about understanding the perceptions because a lot of times artwork being made and artwork being collected, there's a psychological gap, and that gap is something which we'll try to explore today, right? Okay, so sorry, just a second. Okay, perfect. Okay, so second slide is clear, right? So before we begin, let me ask you a very simple question. What was the last time you guys bought something that you didn't really need, right? It can be a cloth, it can be food, it can be a book or something online, anything.
Okay, I think I bought a household item recently, which I didn't think, a carpet rather, to be precise, and I didn't think it was required, but I did spend money on that. Yeah,
Fair enough, fair enough. What about you, Tanishq? Because it's a small group, so I can definitely point out people.
interactive.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I mostly get excited. Mostly things are not for use as for the need, but you know, you like it. You get attracted to certain decorative object. so you buy it. So there are certain objects like heating. All the fitting is for need, but yeah, carpet is also for need, but small decorative, mostly decorative items. Like recently, I visited Jaipur, so that blue Jaipur pottery, small items, and
Mhm.
sketchbook, small sketchbook. Although I will use it, but not the call for the hour.
Fair enough. If I'll ask both of you a question, like what made you bought it?
Well, I didn't really have a reason. I was visiting this carpet gallery and I liked it. And I thought I would use it for a space that I had in my mind. That's the whole reason I bought it. But yeah, I could have done without it as well.
Yeah,
There was no real
Yeah,
reason. Yeah.
yeah,
agree, agree,
exactly.
agree.
That's the thing. I mean, uh, I could live without it, but it's just that we like it at that moment, and we just
Mhm.
end up buying it and think of later we can use it for something other.
Agree, agree, agree. Yeah. So in this, you must have noticed that a lot of times we buy things, but it's not purely out of logic, right? A lot of time we buy things because either we are emotionally connected to it, or it's very intuitive. Ah, this I need, or it's like, oh, this is perfect. This represents me, right? And this is where I want to connect this thought with art, because collectors also, in my experience, to be honest, right, collectors also behave in exactly same way, right? They can live without it, right? But that's something, that emotional appeal is there, right, which makes them feel like, I think I should buy this, right? So so if I'll say, if like is okay, please feel free to interrupt, and if you have any doubts, let me know, right? And if you think I'm going too fast, please, again, I'll be happy to slow down, right? So if I'll say collectors don't buy artwork, then what do they buy? Because we talked about, they buy it from intuition, they buy it like out of emotion, they buy it out of curiosity, right? Just like you buy something which you don't need, right? So if you are a collector, and I tell and if there's a collector, and I tell that collector, sorry, I think I missed some words. It happens. Yeah. So if collectors don't buy artworks, then what do they buy? Anyone?
I'm not sure what they exactly look for, but I feel they are buying a brand that the artist is trying to create, maybe an original thought process that is a bit different from what the collector has seen otherwise.
Mhm.
And they are not really looking for, that's what my understanding is, that they are not really looking for beautiful art. It's not like
Mhm.
they want to decorate their homes with beautiful art. It is a concrete plan, or a definite practice of an artist that probably draws the collectors to it. That's what I feel.
Fair enough. And I'll say mostly I agree with it, right? But any before I move forward, Tanesh, do you have any thoughts in it?
Not same, almost same. But there are different kinds of collectors, like like auction houses. That's most of a brand thing and the price thing, I guess. To have it's just another like Gucci, Prada, and the most exclusive items you can hold. But art, it's a bit different. It's more
Mhm.
valuable than a certain object. But other way, I think the story and the personal connect. uh, spontaneous connect when collectors feel while looking at the art.
Mhm. Okay, I'll say both of you are right, but all these things come very late in the picture, right? First thing they buy is the confidence, right? Because if you are not confident, they won't buy anything because they are not buying the artwork alone. They are buying the confidence in the artist, in the story, in the future. And for emerging and mid career artists, the work is just the entry point, right? Like the collector comes in and see the work, right? Okay, after that it's the conversation which shows them the trust you want to build, the confidence in your thing. So once you start that conversation, that's when the real decision making happens in the collector's mind, because in their mind they ask just one thing, and I believe everyone should ask this: do I trust this enough to bring it into my life, right? Because only 5 to 10% of people in the world buy it as an investment purpose. Majority of the people buy it because they feel connected to it, right? So that's why this question becomes very important: do I trust this enough to bring it into my life, right? And the moment they start answering this question, right, they don't come up with the rational solutions to it, like, okay, oh, because it's investment grade work, oh, because this, because that. No, it starts with emotion and then move it. Then those emotion, they start giving it like reasons to believe in that emotion, and that's through that process they create a structure, right? And this is what decides what collector want to buy, right? It sounds like oh, it started and oh, they like the work, but there is a thought process goes behind it. So the now we, I'll say, like, because collector, we discussed that collector buy the confidence, right? And now I need your inputs, right? Like, why do you think people collect art? I believe I should have asked this question earlier, but yeah, but why do you think people collect art?
There could be various reasons. I mean, there, like for instance, people buying for their homes could just be simple decorative purposes. They want to decorate the living room. Then there could be a set of people who would be looking at investments because, uh, like, for instance, established artists and they want to invest in those original pieces, for which, of course, they have to shell out a lot of money, but
Mhm.
they are open to doing that. And I don't know. I do only understand these two. I hear a lot about the black money that goes on in the art market
Yeah.
also, but again, there is no understanding of that market from my point of view, so I wouldn't be able to tell you much about it.
Fair enough. But if we set apart, if we look at just primary market, not the secondary market, not established masters, right, or current
Mm,
masters, we just look at emerging and mid-career artists,
mm.
right? So in that regard, what make people buy art?
I think that's what, if they want to decorate. Yeah, emerging market probably that's what comes to my I mean that's what
Mhm.
I understand. That probably it's more of because they feel connected to something maybe, or
Yeah.
they're looking for something that fits their need or their living space, the requirements of their living space. Um, yeah, or they they have come to know about a particular artist whose
Mhm.
work they have liked, and probably they go ahead and buy. That's all I know.
Mhm. That's I'll say you touched quite a lot of points in this. Any input, Tanish, you would like to add?
I don't know much about it, but yeah, basically the secondary market, I think the story and the personal connection is the only
Mhm.
thing I think. Uh, and like the collector, whatever he or she believes in, the for example, nature. Somebody is a nature lover, then they will not just buy art, the greenery or floral art just because to decorate or decorate their home. But it's more about the choice why they choose greenery and, and because they like nature and and so I think art is more of a quality input into the life rather than quantity. And yeah, it will come up. It will collective will be definitely after choice, after the basic necessity of life. After that, the quality starts. Then the
Fair
collective
enough.
begins.
I agree with these points as well. So, in my experience, I'll try to summarize this thing, and I'll try to connect it with my experience, right? So, throughout my journey, I have noticed there are majorly five reasons why people collect art, right? First of all, an emotional connect, right? When like when you go, you see something, you're like, this feels right, like I know like why it's there, right? So that's the first thing they look at, the emotional connect with the work. Second, they look at the identity, like
Hmm.
how this artist is being seen by others, or how how I'm able to connect with the work itself, right? Like okay, is it a visible identity of the work? Like, is it the same artist creating similar work, or every time it's something new out of the palette, right? I think this is the easiest way to say it,
Yeah.
right? Third thing is intellectual interest. Whether me as a collector, I'm able to understand the idea, I'm able to understand the concept, I'm able to understand the artistic language, what the artist is trying to achieve with it, right? Fourth one is support. And a lot of patrons or collectors I know, sometimes they just buy to support the artist, right? So that artist can sustain themselves, or they can just help the career of the artist a bit, right? So that they'll be in the part of that cultural ecosystem, right? And last is investment. That's usually the least dominant area, right? Because when a collector see a potential, it's not necessary that the market of that particular artist has exploded, right? It's a gamble, right? And that's why they look at it's like it comes very low in the hierarchy. That's why I said, like, in primary market this is very least, but in secondary market this is at the top, right? So these are the five things. And now I want to ask, according to your experience, what's the most common starting point you guys felt when a collector comes and buy your work?
Visually, the attraction, the we say visually seductive artworks. So it's the visual attraction at the first sight, love at first sight with the artwork.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that's and if we talk about more middle class or whose collecting is not a not a lifestyle. They look for mostly decorative and very pleasing and yet cost effective art. So budget is the issue. Uh, Budget is the first thing they look for, and other collectors, yeah, the visually selective.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about you, Ankita?
No, so for me, initially it was, more, it was only commission based. So whatever they saw on my profile, whatever they liked, they would used to uh, kind of commission
Mhm.
accordingly, and I would create as per their taste. So I wouldn't say my mind was more at work. It was rather their visual that I was trying to bring on canvas. But gradually I think it has moved to a space now where whatever they see on my profile they like, and again likability factor is there, and
Mhm.
they like the thought process. And my latest in the past 2 years, whatever I've sold or whatever commissions I've received, have all been based on that likability factor. So they have
Mhm.
liked the thought process that has been depicted, and they have wanted me to create on those lines. So yeah, so in both the cases, it's likability, but the nature of it has changed a little bit for me.
Sounds, I'll say both of you guys touch the exact point I'm trying to say here. That is, it's it's like emotional connection with the work, whether it's commissioned or they purchase the same thing, right? It's always begin with emotional connection. Even seasoned collectors, right? Whom we think, oh, they think those so strategically, that's that, right? For them as well, it always starts emotionally, right? And as I said earlier, they slowly start rationalizing their decisions by like, this artist will go like this, and they try to like make sure that their decision is right, right? Okay, so now there's a very interesting exercise I want you guys to do. So suppose you guys are the collector now, right? And you visited an art fair, or you are going to visit an art fair, and you have 3,000 pounds, so like 300,000 rupees, right? And you're not allowed to buy multiple works. You can just buy one work, right? So what would you look first, right? And what would immediately make you hesitate? Is the question clear?
Uh, yeah.
Okay.
What would make me hesitate is, of course, the I have to choose only one artwork, and in the art fair full of artworks, thousand of artworks, and what I would choose in 3,000 bucks. Um, in India, in Indian art fair, okay, in India,
Any
I
art
would
fair in the world, I'll say. But you have 3,000 pounds to spend, like 3 lakh rupees.
feel like, yeah, feel like it depends there which art fair you go, but generally I would go for traditional art forms like Kuchgai and similarly, um, Bhel art and
Folk art.
yeah, traditional art form, yeah, folk
Yeah.
art. Not Madhubani, but Kuchgai is number one priority.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Pichwai,
Kuchgai.
Gond art. Fair enough.
Then,
Okay, what about you, Ankita?
So, spending that amount on one painting or more will depend upon what I have in front of me. So there would be two again criteria. One
Hmm.
would be what I am looking for, as in if I have uh, what exactly am I just looking at one piece which stands out, or I would like to I would rather explore that fair to understand what is there, and from there I will choose either one or multiple, but I personally would just spend the whole amount on
Hmm.
one piece which stands out, kind of a thing. um I personally am interested in abstract realism and that kind of work, which is contemporary figurative kind of work, so I would like to invest in that.
Fair enough, fair enough,
Mm.
and wisely said, both of you. Now let me push this question a bit further. What information you guys need to know before you feel comfortable buying? Now you have okay, so you can just buy one work. You have explored the whole fair. You have decided, okay, out of these three, I'm just going to buy one, right? So what information do you guys need before you even feel like, okay, let me give my money to this person?
Okay, I'll go first. So,
Yeah.
for me, it's like I have to like it first in the first place. So it has to really pull me. Um, that is number one. And secondly, if I decide eventually to invest in that, then I would like to figure out how original that is, because
Mhm.
um, yeah, there are a lot of copies in the market and it's very
Agree.
easy to copy these days. It's like all over. So it is important to, I will first look at an originality certificate, and all those things have to come with the artwork. And now, because we have everything on our fingertips, we can just find out about the painter as well, and what's the reputation. But yes, those first things are, I have to like it really too much to invest, and secondly, I have to find out if it's an original piece. So the originality certificate is important for me.
Okay, so like originality, reputation of the artist, and emotional connection.
Yes,
Okay.
emotional connection, of course, is the first thing, because
Mhm.
of which I have come to that point.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I wouldn't have invested it.
fair enough. What about you, Tanishq?
Yeah, emotional connection is the first thing. Then after that, I will look for that artist is doing it consistently. If there are visual consistency in their work and why they are doing what they are doing, what's the story, why they choose. I mean, for which why we all know the story and what the tradition is. But then, then again, I will look for okay, they are doing it for the living is the only thing they are doing, or is there any, you know, apply the is anyone else doing or they are doing? And maybe in art fair, many traditional artisans do in their stall, paint in their stall. So that seeing it live gets the trust factor. And like Pichwai Shahzad Ali is one of the seven generation artist family of Pichwai. So these things matter. And by the way, I have one question also for you. Why does this visual consistency matter? I mean, I have also experienced, buying stuff, even if a decorative object only in art fair. I have experienced that one stall has a different kind of objects. They do different experiments, but I liked a few pieces in there. I wanted to buy, but I didn't end up buying it. Rather, I buy some that Bengal art. What do you call that? Wash painting. And
Mhm.
so all the stalls have a different category. So I buy from that. But uh, whose visual consistency is lacking, I didn't end up buying it, and I don't know why. And collectors also act like that while collecting art. So, what's the psychology behind it?
Because that's a very interesting question. Glad you asked. Because when there's a visual consistency, it's easy for collectors to recognize the work. Right. Okay. Oh, my friend has this artist. Oh, this is completely different work from what I have. Are you sure it's the same artist? Right.
Um,
That question makes them think, is it the right person, or is it just constantly switching what they are doing? Right. Because they are
mm,
not sure about their practice itself. Right. As I mentioned earlier, people buy confidence. They
yeah,
artwork is just a medium. Right.
yeah,
And once you have a constant language, it's easy for them to understand and appreciate it. I hope this makes sense.
Yeah, that covers all the points like confidence and trust in the
Yeah,
artist, source, and
true, true, true.
I
Okay,
think I
so
think I just wanted to add one thing. It also shows the seriousness of the artist. If
yeah,
if the artist is just trying to do something as a hobby, or as a passion, or as a career. So
agree.
the seriousness, I think, comes out if you have a constant voice, artistic voice.
True.
Uh, yeah, I think that's also important to have, because there's so much in the market that it's important that every person has a certain voice that
I
you're
totally
doing.
agree with it because again because the moment you start switching so frequently, like I won't say that you cannot switch, but there's a phase in life, right? Okay, initially for 10, 15 years I was doing this particular style, then something happened, I changed it to this. That makes sense because your style has developed, you have shown the maturity to the people who believe in you, right? And when you switch, it makes sense. But okay, for 2 months I'm doing printmaking, for next 2 months I'm oil, next 2 months I'm acrylic. Come on, why are you even doing so many things, right? So okay, yeah, because all these things leads to one thing. If I'll say reflect on what we have discussed so far, you'll notice this is what a collector look when they look for an artwork, right? Because the goal is to reduce the uncertainty, right? Because we discussed like authenticity we need, reputation we need, consistency we need, emotional connect we need, right? What all this leads to reducing the uncertainty, right? Not just the evaluation of the work, right? I think so. Like I don't know, like before the so how will I say like so the question in the mind is never it's never like this like oh, can I like it or can I buy? It's like, can I trust the decision I'm making? Because as a collector, in the end, they want to have some ROI, right? And those and for emerging mid-career artists, people put their work in their collection for a decade, right? To see how the journey has grown, right? So, so if I'll say like the gist of this is reducing the uncertainty, right? So in why did we talk about the confidence in first place? We should have initiated with reducing the uncertainty immediately.
confidence. I think is one of the aspects of intention. Whether the artist is intentional, because with intention only confidence will come. That
Hmm.
will show in practice.
I didn't heard the last part, but I think I know what you're trying to say in it.
Yeah, the intentional aspect,
Hmm.
whether the artist is intentional or not. I mean, if intention is lacking somewhere, then of course confidence will be shaky in some collector.
Hmm. Fair enough. Anything you would like to add, Ankita?
Could you repeat the question once?
Oh, okay. So I'll try to simplify it. So
Mm.
we talked about reducing the uncertainty all the time, right? Like
Mm.
build a confidence and reduce the uncertainty. So I'll say the question is, what builds this confidence?
In collectors,
Yeah.
I think it is again that one artistic voice, or a constant one, which
Mhm.
shows that the artist is serious about their work, and
Mhm.
they have a certain um, goal to reach. I think that gives confidence to the collector, because then the collector knows there is something better that will happen after this, because there is this one constant voice, and then the artists are working on it, and they are seriously working on it, so it is only going to get better and better over the years. So that probably develops the confidence more that wherever they are, they're only going to get better from here. So I think, yeah, that's where the confidence comes from. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
anything else.
no. You Tanishq, and you pointed out few points really well. As I
Hmm.
said, this whole thing is based on my personal experiences working with
Hmm.
people, right? So
Hmm.
what I have noticed, only four factors are what makes a collector build that confidence in you, right?
Hmm.
First and the foremost is the artwork itself, right? They
Hmm.
look at the quality, originality, and emotional impact, right? And second is you as an artist, because
Hmm.
that's unbeatable, right? They, because the moment they start talking to you, they look at how serious you are, how consistent you are, and whatever you are creating, do you have any idea, or it's just you are creating for the sake of making, right? Like, do you have a clear direction or a clear goal, right? Then comes the context. So like if I'll say like okay, so context, I'll say it's like where this artist has shown his works or her works, or did any in the past, how many collectors bought it, or is there a recognition in the style, or is there external validation, like okay, this artist got prize here, or this artist got this residency, or this artist got that award, right? So that's third thing, context of the work, right? Fourth is the trust factor. That is something we discussed and everyone thinks this. That is like, are there like, where are like all the necessary documents, clarity of the communication, professionalism, and overall presentation. Because when you are not connected to a gallery or anything, right? You are on your own, and your professionalism and how you are presenting your work is what makes them feel valued, right? If I'll try to put this in a very simple terms, I can say they're not only buying the art, they are buying a reduced risk, because it's easy to buy something with less uncertainties rather than something with more uncertainty. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm moving to the next one. Okay, that's why can't I see you guys? Sorry. All of a sudden my just screen blanked out. I wasn't able to see you guys. Okay, so here's this exercise for you guys to introspect yourself. It's totally optional. If you want to share anything, that's great. If not, it's totally fine. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. You have to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being lowest, 10 being highest, because I believe you are the best judge of your own things. No, nothing can beat that, right? So please feel free to write it down, and if you feel like sharing, please. So first question is, how clear is your artist statement? Once done, let me know. I'll move forward. Okay, and sorry,
Hi, the question was, for me to respond now, or do I just have to write down?
you can write it down, but at the end of these things, if you want to respond, that's great,
Okay, 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 okay.
right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so next question is, how consistent is your body of work? Next question is, how strong is your documentation? Documentation includes provenance, it includes your artistic, it includes your artist certificate, it includes your whole information about the CDs and all those things, right? How strong your documentation is, right? Next question is, how confident are you about pricing? Next question is, or I'll say last one, how clear is your online presence? Now I think everyone wrote their on the scale of 1 to 10, right? Okay, so now just go through it and see which, sorry, which one is the, which one you feel like is the weakest one for you. And if you feel like sharing, please, and same, which one is the strongest one for you?
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
I think my weakest would be my online presence. I don't think I have too much. Though I also don't know how to respond to the third question, which is how strong is my profile? Because I would not. I don't think I will be the right judge, because when a collector or a curator, looks at a variety of work, I think it is for the curator to define how strong my profile is. Um, so that is one question I don't have an answer to. The last one is, of course, online presence. I think I'm weakest there because I have my social media, which is my Instagram, my Facebook, but I don't have a website yet, and yes, I have been on a few online platforms, and continuously I am there on a few online platforms. But beyond that, I don't think, I'm not very sure about how useful a website in today's world is,
It
but I
is.
don't have it.
It
But I
is.
don't have it. So that is one thing which I certainly feel is a big impairment. Apart from that, the first two questions where you asked about a certain thought
Your
process.
artist statement and your body of work.
Yeah, my body of work. So I think the first two, where my direction, you spoke about my direction. I think I have a direction right now, and yeah, things have changed and things have matured over the years. And since 2023, I have a certain direction and I'm working towards it. So I think I am on a track. I have found that track, and of course, it will take a few more years to kind of mature and get like better there. But yeah, I have a certain direction. My documentation, again, my artist statement, my biodata, my CV, everything is in there. But I would again say I will have to work a lot on it, because, I haven't done any residencies as such. I have exhibited in fairs, which are like the World Art Dubai and all of that I have done. But I still think there's more required there, and can never, I've always had to have to work on it. So it is somewhere, how do I rate it? It's like somewhere around 4 or 5. So I have to work on it. And pricing of my artworks is very tricky, because I have a slab according to which I work. But yes, there are times where I do end up discounting. And so I would say somewhere at a 6, 5 or 6 right now. That one.
And I'll
Yeah.
say that's a pretty decent number, because not every artist can say that. And you have
Hmm.
clarity because you use the word, you have a slabbing system, right?
Yeah.
And this shows how much time you have given
Hmm.
in thinking about how you are trying to price your artwork, so that
Right.
it looks very consistent throughout the
Right.
sizes.
Right. Yeah. 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 So I think the most marks I can give myself is the clarity of thought right now. There I can tell, I can give you a 7 right now, that I am on a track. Now, of course, I have not done everything. I have to work towards it, but at least I have some clarity of where I want to go.
Fair enough. That's a very good reflection, I'll say, right? And what about you, Tanishq?
I don't know. You be the judge, but when we talk about artist statement, uh, I can judge based on how much, with how much clarity I have put my thought into it. Is 7 or 8, 7 or 8, I think. And the consistency is 7. Consistency in which, what terms? Like doing the work consistently, or is there a visual consistency in the style, or what?
I'll say visual consistency in your body of work. How recognizable your style is, right? Like if you look at work of Shakti Burman, right? You know it's a Shakti Burman, right? So how recognizable your style is. That's the consistency I'm talking about.
Right now, 6, 7.
6, 7. Okay. That's cool.
Uh,
That's cool.
yeah, from documentation is 8, based on whatever I have done. I mean, my portfolio and the resume is updated most of the time. So based on that, but yeah, residency and grants, the more of the qualitative weight in the documentation is lacking. But
Mhm.
whatever I have done, I document it time by time. And confidence in pricing is the lowest, 6 or even 5, I would say. Most of the time, in old artworks, I give a heavy discount and just sell it off. This is a good thing in my field, I think. But again, when it comes to pricing, no, that's the most lacking part of my practice. Whenever I'm in art fair, or especially art fair, so it's a very mute kind of situation whenever someone asks for price and all. I think a lot based on what the other person in financial state is. So I most of the time price according to that. But and online presence is um, 8. Instagram I am active on. No website, but recently I have started posting consistently on Sachi Art and Pinterest.
Mhm.
And that's the only thing we can do.
I'll say that's good. Again, that's interest. That's reflective, right? And in this, there's nothing right or wrong. It's
Yeah.
how you actually feel about your art, right? And because how do I like because where you feel the weakest is where you start affecting your collector's perspective. Oh, I'm not sure about the example. I'm not sure about the price. Oh, should I quote this? Okay. Oh, my A5 is 5,000, but my A4 is 20,000. Come on. Getting it? Like, it's just an example, but this affects how a collector perceives your work, because it's never about work, as we discussed. It's always about you and your confidence, because they are trusting you with their money, not your work, right? So I hope it's clear so far.
Right. But when it comes to pricing, there are still a lot of factors, different factors. Some say there's a formula of calculating material cost plus the time, energy, whatever.
Mhm, mhm,
And other factor is the size doesn't matter if the that depth and story, uh,
I'll
whether
say,
it's a
yeah, I say in my experience, what I have seen, you need to work smartly, right? First, you see how artists with the similar trajectories are working. What are their price slabs, right? And what are they doing? Where have they showcased, right? And then pick up any. There are 5 6 methods. I have a whole video on those methods, right? So feel free to watch on YouTube. So see those, pick up any method and see how it works for you. Because if artists with a similar trajectory is having a lower price, because it's not just one artist you are looking at. You are looking at 5 6 artists, and then you are finding a middle ground for yourself, right? And if you are off the charts, like they are asking 5,000 pounds and you are asking 10,000 pounds, right? Then you are disrupting your own market. But if they are asking 5,000 pound and you are asking 1,000, you are undervaluing yourself, right? So see how artists with a similar trajectory are doing and what method works best for you, and accordingly price your artwork, so that when your collector is buying work from you, he'll be confident that, oh yeah, artists with similar trajectories are working in a similar, have similar price range, right? And one suggestion I give to all the artists is, never release all your works in a single go. Have 3 works out for or 4 works out in a quarter. See how those works are doing, how many tractions they are getting, generating, how many queries you get with those work. And once you start having a consistent 3 4 work sales every quarter, then it's time to increase your price by 10 or 20% and see whether it's working for you or not, right? And
So
if
I sorry to interrupt you. Just wanted to ask you one thing. When you say don't release everything like in one go, what do you mean by that? Are you saying that as in of a particular series? Is that a particular series and you say that if I have 10 pieces of a particular series, then I should only let out three? And let out means what? Like I should not exhibit more than three items or not release them online, or what
No,
exactly
yes.
is that?
So it's about, so you, example, you created a series of 10 works, right?
Mhm.
If it's an exhibition, I recommend exhibit all 10, because it's a very important documentation for your work, right? Because it comes in the catalog. But when you are offering it in a public domain, right? Hey, here's my new series of 10 works available for purchase. Okay. Okay, I'll think about it. Oh, here's a new series, and out of those, in that series, here are the 3 or 4 works which is available right now,
Mm,
right? And
mm,
see how, because in the end, you need to grow your market as well, right? If you are selling it 5,000 pounds right now, 10 years down the line, you don't want to sell for the same price. You want to increase it, right? So this is a strategy what galleries does. Like they have tons of work of an artist for, right, but they don't release it in a single go. Here are the 5 10 works of this particular artist, and they see how for this quarter how these 10 works are selling, example, right? And if all 10 works are sold within a month, right, or within 2 months, okay, so this means this artist is gaining traction. Let's increase the price by 10% or 20%, and let's see what happens now. Okay, we increase the price by 20% and we had 10 works again, but within those within that quarter, new quarter, only 5 sold, right? This means the market is not accepting the new price, right? Okay, now what we'll do, we'll give some discount for the particular artist, so that we'll know exactly, okay, this is the percentage we are increasing, right? And over the year, you'll realize you have increased it by like 10 20%, and next year you are selling it for more. You can increase more if there's this thing where, example, you do commissions, right? You are
mhm,
booked next whole year for the commissions,
mm, mm,
and your current price is acceptable in the market. So now it's time to increase price by X percentage and see how many new commissions you are getting, right? In
Mhm.
terms of prints, there is another method. Like as I said, there's a whole video on YouTube I posted, right? Have a look. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to reach out, and I'll be happy to.
How do I check that video out? Is it under your name
Yes,
or?
on YouTube, if you'll search Artlune, right, it will
Oh,
come up.
okay,
Yeah,
fine.
or if not, what I can do is I'll tell what I'll do is I'll email you on Monday with the
Okay,
link to the video as well.
sure,
Sounds good.
sure, sure.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we need to rush a bit because we are towards the end of the thing, right? Okay, so collectors look for future potential. This is the slide I have in front of me, right? So as we were talking earlier, like collectors are not buying artwork, right? They are buying confidence and they are investing money in you. This means collectors are not looking at what exists right now. They are looking at will what you'll create in the future as well, right? So for that, they ask themselves just one question, and I think this particular questions again, like in our conversation, has come so many times, like how serious the artist is, right? Will this particular artist continue his journey, or will it like, okay, hey, I am here for like next 5 years, then I'm done, right? Or can I see a trajectory in the career of this artist? Like, do I know any artist who went down similar path, right? Who had a similar start, right? So I can compare, right? And lastly, is there any growth? Because as I just said, if you are selling same price for next 5 years, there's no growth in your price, right? So what I bought 5 years ago is still the same price. So you'll increase it accordingly. So is there a growth in artists and artwork? And if they, because they cannot articulate this in a single go because it's still happening, but they try to have it subconsciously, right? That's why two artists with the similar work can have a completely different outcomes, not because of the quality of the work, it's about the perceived direction, how collectors are perceiving it. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so we talked a lot about collector buy this thing, collector thinks this, collector thinks that, artist thinks this, artist thinks that. But now question arises, why collectors hesitate to buy? So anyone would like to add anything?
Mm,
Why?
Um,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. It's
uh,
okay. Mm.
no, the points are the same. I think the confidence and the trust, visual consistency, and the seriousness of the artist. Points are the same. If these points are lacking, then they will hesitate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
Yeah, same.
agree with him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same for me.
yeah, same for me as well.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if uh, if your work is scattered all over the place, it's not consistent. I think 1,000 times before even putting my bet on you,
Mm.
right? You can't. How will I say? Like I cannot understand your practice quickly. I don't know what you're trying to do, right? You have work, but you don't have documents in place. Okay, what's the price? I don't know. Let me go and check. Okay, what's the title? Where's the price list? Right, like so those kind of things are not in place. Where's your artist statement? Where's your portfolio where I can see more of your works, right? Because the if how when we see portfolios, we see exhibitions, right? We invite artists. We it's To be honest, we maximum take 10 seconds if it's an open call, right? We look at an artwork, we look at a portfolio, and it takes just 10 seconds to for us to decide whether this is a valuable artist or not for this particular thing which we are having open call for. So first thing we look at, oh, how clear in like in less than 50 words can I understand what this artist is trying to say. That's why in portfolios you see very short and crisp artist statement is there, right? Then okay, that makes sense what he's trying to do or she's trying to do. I scrolled and okay, that's the first work. What's the first work I see? Okay, makes sense what the person said and what shows make like I can relate, right? And then like okay, I can see the consistency in the visual language, right? But the moment there's something off between it, I'm like, I don't know. It goes on like pause, right? So like weak documentation, no clear narrative, right? And like how will I say, like in simple terms, lack of professional clarity because even the works which are very strong also fails in terms of collection in terms of collecting because of hesitation becomes more powerful than the interest. Does it I hope this makes sense. Okay, so any questions anyone has?
I think I don't have. I have been asking you whenever it came to my mind. Yeah.
If anything comes up, please feel free to ask. And so what so if not, then maybe we can move towards the end of this whole thing, right? So if I'll say like I don't know how to fancy how I can make things fancy. I'm very honest in terms of these things, right? So if this conversation has made you think differently about your practice, please feel free to give us your feedback. Wait, let me put this feedback form in the chat. Sorry. Ah, so many things. Yeah, because it's important for us to know what we are doing. Oops, is it the right thing I shared? Oh, sorry. Extremely sorry. Uh, okay, here's the feedback form. Okay, so if this conversation make you feel differently, right? Please feel free to give us your feedback, right? Because I also offer one-to-one sessions, and in those sessions we go deeper into your portfolio structure and how collectors perceive your work, pricing logic, and overall positioning. And I'll say this is not some generic feedback, right? It's very useful for you if you actually want to get something out of let's say get something meaningful out of it, right? As I said, no pressure at all, and only if you're genuinely interested, I'll be happy to help, right? And before I say bye bye, one more thing I would like you to guys to ask: can I click a photo so that we can share it online, if that's all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. And everyone, please smile. Perfect. And thanks a lot. And please scan this QR code or email me. This is my email address, admin@artlune.com. And just drop me a line and we can definitely connect and see how and in what ways I can help you guys out. I hope this was an interesting session. Please feel free
Yeah, it
to,
was.
thank you. Please feel free, please, I request, fill the feedback form. And we are having a curatorial walkthrough of our ongoing exhibition titled Paband on 28th of June, right? This Sunday. It's a Sunday. Please, and it's again free to attend. Please book the session and join us, because we'll have a lot of interesting conversation with our curator Shalu. And I hope I'll see you guys there. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you
And
so much. Thank you. Bye.
Mhm.
thank
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye.